I'm Ziyue from the class of 2015. I'd like to say that my life has been a series of disasters, so to speak, because everything I've been doing so far is more or less disaster related. Right now I'm interning at the Earth Observatory of Singapore, which deals with disaster monitoring as well as disaster prediction in the Southeast Asian region. I'm currently working with engineers from NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory to port over a cloud-based supercomputing cluster to Singapore. When I was in SST, I was heavily involved with the Infocom Talent Development Program, also known as ICT-TDP, or more commonly referred to as SST Incorporated, where I developed apps for my own school all the way back then in, I think, about Secondary 1 and Secondary 2. Time went on, I think about Secondary 3, I started doing more hardware-based projects as well. And this is when I got roped into the program to develop a multi-parameter air quality sensor as seen behind me. Here there's the Mark 1 version in there, and there's the Mark 2 version with a formalized printed circuit board. I think, yes, there's definitely an ecosystem here in SST to support the learning of students through things that you typically do not find in other schools. The greatest ways that SST has honed my skills and knowledge throughout these 4 years of being in SST is a whole array of both soft skills and hard skills. For example, if you take hard skills, you are looking at, for example, programming and quite sometimes visual design and so on, which later became really important as I further my education path in Polytechnic and so on, kind of training that SST gives students, as well as hard skills training, because when I realized that a lot of what I learned in SST, both in my curricular time and my co-curricular time, could be applied deeply into what I learned in SP, which was computer engineering. A lot of the concepts acted as good foundations for me to build even further. If I could develop something to help people, to let them know of their surroundings and the environment, to help in an indirect sense to help the environment and the people around me, I think that's a great thing to have. I think it goes without saying that space is hard, and it's literally rocket science. So what I'd like to tell future generations, future students, as well as, let's say, especially parents as well, is that you shouldn't be afraid to take moonshots. Basically big leaps, such as projects like me trying to launch a satellite into space. Because even if you don't end up on the moon, you still fall amongst the stars. I think that is a very important thing to take in mind whenever you're embarking on a big project. The end result may not be exactly what you expect, but in the process of doing it, you will have learned a lot.